Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video brought to you by SeniorCatWellness.com. If you enjoyed today's presentation and find it informative, please feel free to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share the content. Today's video subject: why do cats disappear for days on end? Before we begin, let's first take a look at today's topic overview. Cats go missing if they have lost track of their surroundings while hunting or exploring, and finding their way home took time. Your cat could have sought shelter in a neighbor's garage or shed and got locked inside. Perhaps your cat has another home where it receives attention, food, and shelter. If a cat is unwell, it may seek peace and solitude for days. A cat in heat may also wander off in pursuit of a mate. While cats roam as part of their basic instincts, what can cause a cat, your pet, to leave home and go missing for several days? First up, your cat could have gotten lost. While it's a bit rare that a cat would actually get lost, at least in the most literal sense of the word, if your pet covered what would be deemed an unreasonable distance and was no longer able to identify helpful scents and familiar areas, it's possible that your cat could become lost. When a cat gets lost, it can take several days to find some type of anchoring scent and association. Next up, your cat is being fed elsewhere. Cats that are able to roam outdoors often take advantage of other homes within a neighborhood setting. If a neighbor is feeding your cat, then your pet could become a bit settled into a feeding routine with your neighbor. While this could be very frustrating for you on several fronts, it's fairly common for cats to disappear for hours and even days if they become a bit enamored, let's just say, by a different home, different people, and plenty of food, perhaps new food. Next, your cat could be trapped. Some cats leave home and simply get themselves into bad situations. It's not uncommon for pets to become trapped, thus making it hard to get home in a timely fashion. Many times the elements can play a role. Rain, snow, harsh winds, and cold temperatures can cause a cat to shelter in place rather than attempt the journey back home. Next, alone time. Does your cat need some alone time? What if your cat has left just for the sake of leaving? While this exact reason is not very common, some cats just leave to get away, especially if they live in what they would deem to be an overstimulated environment. If your home is not one of comfort and a place where your cat can really wind down and find peace, your pet could take matters into its own paws. What's the human equivalent of this action? Probably taking a drive. We've all done this: leave the house and go for a drive just to clear your mind. Cats need the same from time to time, especially if the home environment is not conducive for relaxation. Next up, your cat could be in heat. A cat in heat will wander until a mate is found. If you have found that your feline cat has been crying to be let outside, well, this could indeed be the reason. As for the disappearing act, well, it could take hours to find a mate or even days. And finally, is your cat sick or perhaps even dying? Cats often seek isolation when they're ill. They will hide from rivals and predators as a survival tactic. An unwell feline that is known invisible is a target. While some sick cats will choose to stay indoors and isolate, and others will actually seek comfort from their owners. Some cats will leave home if given the opportunity. If your cat has displayed symptoms of illness, such as a lack of appetite, incontinence, limited mobility, reluctance to use the litter tray, aggressive behavior, and whimpering and crying prior to leaving, then your cat's disappearance unfortunately could simply be the next phase in the process. If your cat is truly approaching the end of its life, there is a chance that your pet will never return. That's not said to scare anyone, it's just the truth. How far can a cat roam from home? Well, it usually all depends on the following factors: the drive for prey, those hunting instincts, bond with owners. The weaker, the greater the distance. Routine, perhaps they're not a big fan of their daily routine and are looking for something else, something more. Surroundings can play a role. If they are comfortable with your neighborhood, this could promote a longer stay outdoors. Desire for territory, perhaps their own territory out in the wild. And that confidence level: if there is no true fear of predators in the area, they could stay outside a bit longer. In terms of distance, most cats really won't travel any more than 50 yards in any direction. Quite often, when you spend several nights calling for your cat to come home and doing so with no luck, they can hear your voice. Unless your pet is truly in a dire situation, injured, trapped in a garage, cornered by a predator, or what have you, they can hear you and they'll come home when they're good and ready. Cats can be quite frustrating, especially in this regard. Felines do this whole life thing on their own terms. That can be difficult when you've got a life to live and you've spent your entire night calling for your cat. When you add in the fact that cats are curious creatures and are very easily distracted, it can be easy for you to lose your cool. Most of the time, you just have to wait it out. If your cat is able to come home, it will. And the vast majority of the time, your precious pet will arrive home in the same condition as it left. You've likely aged a few years from anxiety. There's a good chance that your pet is just fine. The best way to shut the door on your cat's outdoor roaming activities is to literally shut the door. If your cat's grand outdoor adventures have become just too much of a gamble from a health and wellness standpoint and too time consuming and stressful for you, then you can always keep your pet inside. How do you accomplish this? How do you get this job done? Well, establish a comfortable home environment, establish a reliable routine, and have regular playtime to mimic those hunting instincts. The objective is to convince your cat that home is better than anything the outdoor world has to offer. Everything you need, precious Garfield, yeah, it's right here under this roof. It's all about comfort in every aspect of the word, and a regular schedule and routine can help set the tone. Daily home adventures on the playtime side of life, coupled with good food, water, and relaxation, can make your cat forget all about those outdoor adventures that were probably not so much fun in the first place. Because for as much as cats love to roam, so much of roaming outdoors involves watching your back and being on edge. A quality home environment is true comfort, something a cat could never have by just roaming the neighborhood, even the safest of neighborhoods. Because for every friend, there is certainly a foe. Home is where the heart is, and that's why your cat should stay. Your pet can watch the world go by from the nearest window. It's much safer that way. If you would like more information concerning today's subject matter, please click the initial link in the description box below and join us at seniorcatwellness.com. And once again, feel free to like and share this video and subscribe to the channel if this type of content is of interest to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.